King Arthur's Knights, Chapter 4, Part 3. Now this is a grievous shame, cried the lady. What, Sir Green Knight, art such a coward as to crave thy life of a scullion knave, and promise him 30 knights' service? You and your 30 knights' service shall avail you not, said Beaumans grimly. And since this lady will not beg thy life of me, why now I shall slay thee. With this he raised the sword, but the lady cried out, Put down, thou rascally knave, and slay him not, or thou shalt repent it. Lady, said Beaumans, and bowed full gently, your command is to me a pleasure, and at your desire I give him his life. Then the Green Knight did homage to Beaumans and gave up his sword. Afterwards he took them to his castle near by, where they passed the night. Next morning the Green Knight, whose name was Sir Pertolope, accompanied them some distance on their way, and at parting he told Beaumans that he and his 30 knights would do service when and where he might desire. Thereupon Beaumans told him that he must go and yield himself and his knights to King Arthur, and this Sir Pertolope promised faithfully to do. And again, when they had gone some way and had reached a little town, a knight challenged Beaumans, who, having fought with the stranger and overpowered him, threatened to slay him unless the lady begged for his life. This she did, after she had said many bitter and evil things, and Beaumans commanded the knight to go with 60 knights which were in his service, and yield himself to King Arthur. Then Beaumans and the lady went on again, and the lady was full of rage in that she had been compelled a second time to plead with him for the life of a knight. Thou shalt get thy full wages today, Sir Kitchen Knight, said she, for in a little while there will meet us the most valiant knight in the world, after King Arthur. Methinks thou wouldst do the better part to flee, for the evil luck which thou hast had with the 3 knights you have overcome will not avail thee upon this one. Madam, said Beaumans, ye know that ye are uncourteous so to reproach me. I have done you great service these 3 days, but ever ye call me coward and kitchen knave. Yet those who have come against me, whom you said would beat me, are now either slain or have yielded homage to me. The greater shame, said the lady, that so low-born a churl as thou art should have knights yield to thee who should have slain thee. Beaumans answered nothing more, but his heart was very heavy at the thought that, do what he might, he could not win this lady to speak fairly of him. Toward noon, as they rode, they saw the white towers of a fair city, and before its gates was a field newly mown, with many tents therein of diverse rich colors. Lo, there's the town of the man that shall cut thy comb, thou proud varlet, said the lady. A brave and proved knight is he, by name Sir Persant of Mined, and he hath a following of 500 knights and men at arms. A goodly lord indeed, replied Beaumans, and one I fain would see. The lady laughed mockingly. Thou shalt see him too soon to please thee, I doubt not, she replied, for he is the lordliest knight that ever whipped a knave. That may well be, said Beaumans, and the more I desire to have to see him. Thou fool, cried the lady angrily, thou hadst better turn and flee while there is time. Not a step will I, replied he with a laugh, for look you, if he is so lordly a knight as you say, he will not set his 500 knights on me at once. But if he will send but one against me at a time, I will do my best till my strength goes from me. No man, be he knave or knight, can do more. At his quiet, brave words, the lady's heart smote her. She repented of her evil tongue when she thought how valiant and true this unknown man had been on her behalf. Sir, she said in a gentler voice, ye make me marvel. Thou hast spoken boldly, and by my faith, thou hast done boldly, and that makes me wonder of what kin thou art. But as ye are so brave, and have done you and your house great travail these 3 days, I misdoubt that ye will get hurt if ye go further. Therefore I bid you turn, or ever it be too late." "Nay, I will not," said Beaumans. "It would be a great shame that now, when we are but a few miles from your lady sister's oppressor, I should turn back." "But, sir, I counsel ye to do so," said the lady. "For the strength of Persant, even if ye conquer him, is but little compared to the great strength of the Red Knight who doth oppress my sister, and I am sure you have little hope of overcoming him." "Nevertheless, lady, I will essay to conquer him," said Beaumans, "for it is but my duty and my desire to rescue your lady sister, as I have resolved." "I marvel what manner of man ye be," said the lady. "It must be that ye come of noble blood, for no woman could have spoken or treated you more evilly than I have done. Yet ever you have courteously suffered all I said." "Lady, it is but a man's duty to suffer a woman's wayward words," said Beaumans, "and they have not been without service to me. For the more ye angered me, the more strength of wrath I put into my blows, and so was enabled to overcome your enemies. And as to what I am and whence I came, I could have had meat in other places than in King Arthur's kitchen, but all that I have done was to try my friends. And whether I be knave or gentleman, I have done you gentleman's service." "That is true, Sir Beaumans," said the lady, all soft and penitent now, "and I beg of you forgiveness for all my evil words." "I forgive ye with all my heart," said Sir Beaumans, "and I tell you, lady, that now that you speak kindly to me, it gladdens me greatly, and I feel that there is no knight living whom I could not strike down for the sake of yourself and your lady sister." By this time Sir Persant had seen them, and had sent a squire to ask Beaumans whether he came in peace or war. "If he will not let us pass," replied Beaumans, "it shall be war." At that they saw Sir Persant array himself in his armor and mount his horse, and now he came rushing across the field at utmost speed, his lance in rest. Beaumans also made his horse leap forward swiftly, and the two knights met with so great a force that both their lances splintered in many pieces, and their horses fell dead upon the field. But the two knights instantly disentangled themselves, and fought on foot with shield and sword. So furiously did they hurl themselves at each other that often they fell to the ground. For 2 hours the duel raged, till their hauberks were tattered and their shields were hacked, while both were sorely bruised and wounded. At length Beaumans thrust Sir Persant in the side, and the latter's attack became less eager. Finally Beaumans hit the other so great a stroke that he fell headlong, and instantly Beaumans leaped astride of him and unlashed his helmet, as if about to slay him. Then Sir Persant yielded him and pleaded for his life, and the lady, who had stood watching the combat, ran forward, placed her hand on Sir Beaumans' sword arm, and cried, "Of your mercy, Sir Beaumans, yield him his life for my sake." "I do it willingly," cried he, helping the knight to rise, "for he hath nobly fought, and so deserves not to die." "Gramercy," said Sir Persant, "and now I know thou art the strong knight who slew my brothers, the Black Knight of the Thorn and the Green Knight of the Wood. And now I will be your man, and 500 knights of mine shall do your service, as and when you will." And that night they supped bounteously in Sir Persant's castle, and the lady besought Beaumans to sit by her at the same table, and all three made merry company. In the morning, after they had heard mass and broken their fast, Beaumans and the lady set out again, and Sir Persant went with them to the drawbridge. "Fair lady," said he, "where dost thou lead this valiant knight?" "Sir," said the lady, "he is going to raise the siege which hath been set by the tyrant knight of the Red Lands." "Ah, then he goes to the Castle Dangerous, and on the most perilous adventure that any man could take. For they say the Red Knight hath the strength of 7 men, and he doth oppress one of the fairest and sweetest ladies in the world. I think you are her sister, Dame Lynette." "That is my name," replied the lady, "and my sister is Dame Leonce." "This Red Knight is the most dangerous knight in the world," said Sir Persant to Beaumains, "and hath besieged that fair lady these 2 years. Many times he might have forced her for terror to have married him, but he keeps the siege in hopes that Sir Launcelot or even King Arthur would come to rescue the lady. For he hateth all true knights, but those two with most bitterness." So they parted from Sir Persant and rode onwards, and the lady spoke now full friendly to Beaumains. In a little while, when they had passed through a fair forest, they came upon a plain, and in the distance was a high castle with many tents about it, and men passing to and fro between them. And as they rode under some withered trees by the edge of the forest, they saw hanging by their necks from the bare boughs many goodly knights in armor, with their shields and swords hung before them. At this shameful sight, Beaumains checked his horse and asked, "What means this?" "Fair sir," said Lynette, "abate not your cheer at this dreadful sight, for ye have need now of all your courage, or else are we all shamed and destroyed. These dead knights are those who have come against the Red Knight, trying to rescue my sister from his power. But the tyrant knight hath overcome them and slain them thus shamefully by hanging." "Now heaven aid me," said Beaumains, "for this is a most shameful and unknightly custom, and well doth that evil knight deserve death." "Nevertheless, he is a knight of great prowess and force, though of evil custom," replied the lady, "and no one hath ever borne him down in battle." With that they came to a sycamore tree which stood alone in the plain, and on it was hung a great horn of elephant bone, with gold work curiously wrought. "Fair sir, ye must blow that horn if ye wish to do battle with the Red Knight." "But, sir," went on the lady quickly, and caught at Beaumains' arm that already had lifted the horn, "be ye not overbold. It is now the hour of prime, and it is said that the Red Knight's force increaseth to the strength of 7 men until it is noon. Wait therefore until noon shall be past, and his strength shall diminish." "Nay, nay," said Beaumains, "speak not thus to me. I will assail him however mighty he be, and either I will beat him or die with honor in the field." Therefore he lifted the horn and blew so great a blast that instantly knights came in a great press from the tents, and people looked out from the walls and windows of the castle. Then Beaumains saw a tall man come running from a tent, arming himself as he came. Two barons set his spurs upon his heel, and an earl buckled his helm upon his head. He was all in red armor, from the plume which waved upon his crest to the cloth which was upon his horse, and his shield was all of red, with but a black heart in the center thereof. Then he waited for Beaumains in a little hollow before the castle, so that all that were therein might see the combat. "Now, fair sir," said Lynette, "it behooves you to have great courage and heart, for yonder is your deadliest enemy, and at yonder window is my lady sister, Dame Leonce." Beaumains looked to where Lynette was pointing, and saw at a window the loveliest lady he had ever seen. And as he looked, she smiled and bowed to him, and he felt his heart burn with love for her. "Truly," he said, "she is the fairest lady I have ever looked upon, and she shall be my lady." "Cease thy looking at that lady," called the Red Knight in a harsh and angry voice. "She is my lady, and soon shall she see thy foolish body swinging from the tree for the ravens to pluck, as others hang there afore thee. 'Tis for that shameful sight, and for the love of this lady that hates you and your evil custom, that I am resolved to slay you, if God so wills," was the stern reply of Beaumains. "A boastful rogue thou art," cried the Red Knight, and laughed scornfully. "What is thy name, and whence come ye, Sir Black Knight? For surely from your talk You must be one of those prating and soft fools of the Round Table." "I will not tell thee my name," said Beaumans, "and as yet I am not of the worshipful company of King Arthur's Round Table. But when I have slain thee and rid the world of so shameful a knight, then shall I crave the king to receive me into that high fellowship of noble and courteous knights." "Make ready," shouted the Red Knight in a furious voice. "I will talk no more with thee." With that, they withdrew a little from each other, and then, spurring their horses and with lances in rest, they hurled themselves toward each other. And we'll pause here and we'll continue with this story in the next video. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. As Tigger says, ta-ta for now.